Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, the top AEW star who doesn't want to be world champion.
Could Brock Lesnar make a return to WWE?
John Cena has outlined his retirement plans.
And Logan Paul responds to Backlash about Prime Center Ring sponsorship. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
All right, the top AEW star who doesn't want to become world champion. Who is it? It's Bryan Danielson.
Of course.
Tony Khan has actually banned him from becoming world champion because he's a prick.
No vegan world champions in my company.
Yeah, Tony Khan likes the beef too much. Jokes aside, Danielson is he's the opposite of a prick.
Yes.
By all accounts, he's one of the most selfless guys around. He puts loads of people over. He never hogs the spotlight, even though he's like one of the best wrestlers of all time. And if he wanted to hog the spotlight, nobody would complain because he's great. But he doesn't want to be world champion, and he's outlined why during a panel at South by Southwest. It's Austin, Texas.
Yeah, it's
right?
very cool, that, isn't it? I always hear about that.
It's for the cool.
Yeah.
The cools.
I think if I was an American, I'd probably go there. I'm pretty goddamn cool, mate. Hang on.
Are you a cool? Could you fit in? There you go.
Hey, what's how we going South by?
One of the legs just fell off.
Yeah, there.
Sick.
Sorry, thank you
Sorry,
for upsetting us, but...
yeah, sorry, Ricky.
It's actually, yes, I think cool kids are wearing sunglasses nowadays, just having them fall off your face.
I'll read his quote.
Yes.
This panel, by the way, was with Britt Baker and Tony Khan, so it's pretty cool seeing some AEW people there. It's quite long, so bear with me. One of the things that I loved about AEW and just the idea of it is just that it made pro wrestling industry healthier. So when I look at it, I think, how do I make this industry that I've loved since I How do I make this industry that I've loved since I was a child healthier? And the idea is to pass on the stardom that I've been given to try to pass that on to the younger wrestlers. I've had some people ask me or say things to me like, "Oh, Brian, you should have been champion," or "You should have done this," or "You should have done that." And the reality to me is that no, the champions we've had have been great. Hangman was a great champion, MJF was a great champion, and it elevated those younger people to where now these people are stars. You put Hangman on TV, he draws a rating. You put MJF on TV, he draws a rating. It would be easy just to take the stars of the past and make them your champion, make them your top guy. That's the easy way. It's much harder to take somebody like MJF, who hadn't been on national television, and turn him into a star that draws ratings. That was my bigger goal, is to transfer stardom from one generation to another. I think they've done a good job of mixing the stars of the past with the stars of today and tomorrow. In that world title mix.
Some legitimacy straight out of the gate with Jericho.
Jericho, Moxley, Joe, Punk, but of course Hangman and MJF as well. And the next one up is probably going to be Swerve Strickland. So that'll continue that kind of trend. But hey, it's just more stuff from the most selfless man alive.
Yeah, top bloke, isn't he? Like you say, just so selfless. And he's right, you know, like no one's going to look back if he retired tomorrow, and please don't. I've got lots more dream matches I'd like to see you in. But if he retired tomorrow, people wouldn't be like, never really hit those heights with not winning the AEW World title. Like he's having some phenomenal matches in AEW. He's clearly doing stuff he enjoys, and he's got that checklist of stuff he'd like to do before he, well, not calls time on it, but goes to a far more part-time schedule.
Yeah.
And that's his priority. And I think I completely agree. Like, yes, he could have been a world champion for 6 months, a year. He'd have been awesome, but it's not like you're not getting Danielson matches, you're just not getting them around the world title.
Yeah, exactly. And so the world title, you know, I've never been a fan of just going, hey, this guy's been doing it for ages, let's give him the belt or whatever. I think it should fit into storylines and everything else, and it should be logical and smart and well thought out.
I just really hope he can carry that young Will Ospreay lad to a decent match at AEW Dynasty.
Teach him how to sell, huh? Gee, I've turned into a different side of the internet there, but... Yeah.
Right, let's talk a little bit about Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar, of course, implicated in the lawsuit brought by former WWE employee Janelle Grant against Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, WWE, all that sex trafficking terribleness. Please do donate to Rain, who do fantastic stuff with regards to this cause. Obviously, off the back of that, Brock Lesnar was no longer involved in the Rumble. He was going to be, and then they took him out. He was removed from 2K24. His presumed match, we didn't get any confirmation prior to this, but it was speculated that he was going to have a match with Gunther at WrestleMania for the IC title. That was scrapped. However, now it seems there could be a small chance he could eventually make a return to WWE. This is according to Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, who said, in the last few days there have been moves regarding Brock Lesnar. If you listened to the show last night with Dave Meltzer, everything we talked about is accurate other than the roster page. There are movements to bring him back. I should add regarding Brock, I'm not saying he's going to be back. I have no idea if he's going to be back. I wouldn't bring him back, but I can tell you there have been inquiries made, and what that means we will wait and see. Seems like a bad idea to me, put it that way. That's what Alvarez had to say. Obviously, Brock's last match was with Cody at SummerSlam, finally putting him over as part of that trilogy. Feelers put out, presumably, to potentially bring Brock Lesnar back. I'm in no hurry to see him in WWE, if I'm honest, Andy.
Yeah, no, the stuff he was implicated in the lawsuit is very disturbing. And I think that, I have no faith whatsoever in major companies taking moral stances in these things. I think history has shown us that such entities will just do what they think they can get away with.
Or they just wait and think, the news cycle will move on in the next month, and people will still be annoyed, but it'll not be loud enough to cause us any issues.
As soon as they think they can get away with it, they'll probably do it, and that's the sad truth of the matter. They won't make some kind of stand unless more stuff comes out, or maybe there's some kind of legal judgment.
The old sponsors start.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a ghoulish world that we live in. Especially when it comes to this stuff, unfortunately. So, in the meanwhile, I would just encourage you to just keep doing as much research as you possibly can on this whole case and stay informed, stay up to date. And if you do have the resources and everything else, and you're able to contribute to such organizations as RAIN, consider doing so. It's been a really horrible thing to cover, but it is also one of the defining stories of our era.
I don't need to see, but it's not like I've not seen Brock Lesnar do something. He's done everything.
Yeah.
For the sake of trawling all through this terribleness, I don't think it's necessary. But anyway, we'll keep you posted on any developments on that.
I agree. We're going to move over and talk about John Cena now. He's kind of outlined some retirement plans a little bit. He was on the Kelly Clarkson show.
Oh, I love that.
And I was trying to make a since you've been gone joke,
because he's
been off for a while. So you can put the joke together in your head. As we all know, comedy is much funnier when you have to explain it. But he was just talking about retiring and age of 50. Age of 50.
Is that there? That's cut off.
Actually, he's called it the line in the sand.
Ooh.
He said, you know what, 50 is my absolute line in the sand. I would like to try to do it before that. But at 50, I'm just going to tweet, peace out, see ya, that's it. I'm good. I was very much driven, where WWE was my passion 24/7, and I'm very grateful. But I've grown, and there's a lot of other avenues I'm curious about in life. And certainly being a great husband and partner is one of those. So I want to try and do what I can in those avenues. Presumably he means turning up wearing no clothes at award shows. John Cena's 46. I thought he was older than that for some reason. 50 is a good age. I mean, being fair to him, right? If we look at his recent in-ring output, particularly the Austin Theory match last year, I think this is wise.
Yeah, I completely agree. We've all been on the, if you're a similar age to me and Andy, been on the John Cena roller coaster for the last few decades, really.
From start to finish.
Yeah, it comes in, you're like, wow, this is awesome new talent who's really kind of breaking the mold. Then Super Cena, then, maybe I misjudged you. Yeah. I popped huge when he came back to challenge Roman Reigns. I was like, you can't dethrone him, but that's a fun little detour, basically. But I still think he can have a role to play. I certainly don't want to see him challenging for any world titles. Unless you've got someone a la Roman Reigns in the spot. I suppose Gunther destroying him would be fun as a world title match now that I think about it. But he doesn't need to win anything more in terms of big prizes within WWE. But I'm sure there's some more matches that you'd like to see him do. He's so funny because obviously he played. Well, he wasn't playing. He was the anti to Rock's Hollywood persona, and then he went the route that a lot of them do, and he did great at it. Like him in the Suicide Squad is awesome. He got his own spin-off show off the back of it.
Tell you what, Rock does a much better job of owning his baldness.
Yes,
or he did when he first shaved it off. John, you got to deal with that. It's like a little nest.
Oh, it's when he throws the cap off, and I'm like, keep facing the hard cam.
Who's the best actor, The Rock or John Cena?
The Rock's literally my favourite person, so...
I find him more fun.
And he's just called a dog a you-know-what.
Yeah, it's dead.
Yes.
I find The Rock more fun in movies, but I think Batista's better than both of them.
Batista is great as well, but I was really pleasantly surprised when it was like, Cena in the Suicide Squad. First of all, it was the Suicide Squad, and I was like, First one didn't go great, guys.
He's very funny.
And I love that film.
Have you seen Blockers?
No.
It's pretty funny.
Yes, no, I have.
Pretty funny.
Yes, the one with the kids in the he's good. He's good in there.
Yeah. Does a beer bong.
You and I were okay.
yeah. It's a pretty good film. If you want like just a silly comedy, skadoosh.
And if you want a drink to go with that, drink Prime. Talking of Prime. It is obviously, it was revealed on SmackDown last week, it is the center ring sponsor going forward for WWE starting at WrestleMania 40. There's going to be a big bottle on the ring. Everyone has been talking about it. Everyone has been going back and forth about it. Logan Paul, while simultaneously announcing that SummerSlam's coming from Cleveland on Impulsive, has discussed the sponsorship and the backlash to it, saying getting that centre ring spot is interesting. It's more positive reviews. I think the die-hard wrestling fans are really upset. It's never been done. Vince McMahon was always really protective of that and not putting any brands on it. But this is the new era. No matter how you cut it, TKO is a publicly traded company. They have to meet a bottom line. That spot was going to be sold. We saw an opportunity, and potentially an opportunity to make me hate me even more, because I'm a heel. That's kind of the angle I took. F y'all. I'm going to stab everything about this with me, so you're reminded just what my aim is to take over. If we don't have this spot forever, who knows, it'll be somebody else. I promise if you're a diehard WWE fan, you'll forget about it. It'll start to be standard practice, and I don't think it's going to be as distracting as y'all think. Understandably, people are upset about this, but obviously it also draws comparisons to the octagon in the UFC that's plastered with like Monster Energy or Prober 12 or things like that.
I think it was inevitable that they'd go down this route at some point. I think that the bulk of the upset about it probably comes from two places, right? Number one, it's like, oh, this is new to us. Why is there a big bottle? Actually, there's three. Number two is the bottle looks stupid.
Yeah.
Like in the ring, it just looks a bit silly. Number three, it's Logan Paul. That's probably why the main reasons people are a bit annoyed. I agree with him in the sense that people will get over this really quickly.
Oh, 100%.
Like, after WrestleMania, people might be like, ugh! But like a week later, everyone will be fine with it. Everyone will be fine with it to a degree. I like it from the perspective of sticking it to Vince a little bit.
It is funny that,
It is, because this was one of his sacred cows. But he's absolutely mental when he talks about TKO looking after the bottom line. WWE are richer than gods. They don't need to look after anything, brother.
Oh no, quick, we're going to have to sell the ring because...
we're running out of funds. We're going to have to fire 200 people. For me,
did a 4-hour advert for Western Australia recently.
Yeah, come on. For me, this is like clown stuff. Like I'm not fond of the Logan Paul. Look up his activity in crypto. Watch the CoffeeZilla videos.
Great videos.
Also, Prime is trash, right? It might taste nice. I don't know. I've never tasted it.
It is
but
delicious.
if you properly look into this stuff, it's always promoted as less calories than Gatorade. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's because there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. This is
there's just a lot of bad chemicals.
Yeah, it's proper junk water with like next to no redeeming value. It's marketing. It's exploiting a very young audience by inflating a market that had people paying $10 for a bottle at one point. I find it really gross and crony and whack. I think all these guys suck. These Logan Paul type mother effers.
KSI got RKO'd on Friday.
He's another crypto guy. Look it up.
Yeah.
Look it up. They're all at it, man. They're all at it. But yeah, there you go.
Well, as a fellow YouTuber, I've got to disagree. We influencers out there, we get a lot of haters, and Logan and JJ, as I call him, KSI, as you probably know, good guys. And I got to say, Prime's delicious. Feed it to your kids. I'm already giving it to Eric on a daily basis.
He's got it on a drip.
No, you know what I said? You know what I said to Hamlet about this? I was like, we were talking about the SmackDown review, What Culture Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcast from. If you're going to do this, go all out, right? Have Slim Jims be the ropes, okay?
Well, shoot Slim Jims.
Slim Jims really tightly wrapped to the ropes, and instead of it being just a bit of a bottle of Prime on the ring center ring. You know the big posts, because they're all expanded out now.
Yeah.
Each one of them should be a drink dispenser, right? And you can see it. It bubbles up, and it's got a tap on there. C4 Energy, that's one of theirs, isn't it? Remember the Royal Rumble 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, C4.
Oh God, yeah, okay.
Prime and some of the trash that they make people drink.
Oh God, almighty.
Mountain Dew, Pitch Black.
There you go.
And you can have water for one, just like, there you go, if you want to be all...
healthy. Hey, look, what's the dumbest thing they could sponsor the ring with? I think Slim Jim Ropes is probably it.
It's up there.
You certainly can't. What did AEW have? They had Rick and Morty, which was weird.
That was they changed the corner things, the post for that, didn't they?
Yeah, into portals.
Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, cool.
I did like when the knockoff chainsaw guy came out, Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy, and I was like, who the hell's that supposed to be?
That was something. They did donate a lot of money to the disaster relief in
And
Hawaii.
let's not forget Backlash Zombies, so we've all made mistakes.
One thing about Logan Paul, he's great at wrestling.
He is phenomenal.
He's fantastic
you
at wrestling.
Can't argue with that.
But,
Who's he challenged LeBron, didn't he, for SummerSlam?
Yes!
Go on, then. Sounds good.
What's Shaq up to if we're talking basketball players?
He's still, we don't know, he's in another dimension because of course he disappeared after that match.
Yeah, he's not been seen
got
since.
Got in the back of the ambulance and mysteriously disappeared. Right, anyway, let's move on to your Twitter questions. At What Culture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from Brian George. He says, morning guys, morning Brian. Am I the only one worried they're going to have Chad Gable win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal only for him to do nothing with it like every other past winner?
Yeah, that seems like something they would do. Like the Andre the Giant, it's rubbish. It's rubbish.
Yes.
Like the 1 year we thought, and this was ages ago, Cesaro when he won it was like, oh cool, push coming.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree.
He didn't guarantee a title shot or anything like that.
Although I would hope
they didn't even have Mizdow win it.
Yeah, and look at people, Madcap Moss. Like flipping Jey Uso, okay, one of the most decorated tag wrestlers ever, but it didn't have much of a purpose. Bobby last year. Bobby last year.
The fact that you and I could not for the life of us remember it and had to Google it before we came in here tells you all you need to know.
Big Robert Lashley.
Yeah.
This thing sucks. I would hope that Triple H would be smarter than that and would actually use it for something afterwards. But I do think they'll make it a triple threat.
I don't see WWE aren't as naive as they used to be, and I don't think they still could sell it as like either Sammy or Chad being like, well, I didn't win the IC title, but I got this silly trophy. 100%. Remember the 2-8 piss trophy?
Was it
Taker won that, didn't he?
2-8 mountain trophy.
That was it, yeah.
Who did he beat up backstage?
AJ Styles attacked someone.
That's right.
And then Taker was like, I'm not going to do this. You're going to buy a crate of beers for the boys.
You're disrespecting this business.
I'm winning that goddamn piss trophy.
Big
old piece of frozen piss is what it looks like.
But I do agree with you, AJ. The Earth is flat.
Yeah.
It's the Undertaker a flat earther now.
I'm really excited to see what they do with this Chad Gable, Sami Zayn story though, because I don't think it's over, and it's a real exciting development to tune in for next week because it's like were Chad's shoulders down? Are they going to factor that in? Is Sami too injured to compete? Is Sami going to be like, you know what? I both deserve this. Is Gunther going to just kill both? I don't know, but I'm intrigued, and I hope they don't just settle for, like you say, the Andre the Giant trophy. Jason Krul says, greetings from the most magical place on earth, Wisconsin.
I thought he was going to say Disney World.
No, close. Are we to assume that Mercedes Moné's debut tonight will involve her costing Willow the match? Not Jeff Hardy's character, Willow Nightingale, against Riho, since it was Willow who she was wrestling when she was injured, of course.
Yeah, I actually am of the opinion that the Mercedes debut is going to have nothing to do with that match.
Okay.
It's just like Willow and Chris have got their own thing going on at the moment, right? And you can focus on that. I think it's going to be a completely different segment, and they've teased Serena Deeb quite heavily as a Mercedes opponent, so I think they'll probably go down that route.
Professor Open Challenge.
Professor versus CEO, who wins?
Yeah.
So I think they're going to keep it separate. I do. I could see them doing the Willow thing, but different thing.
Very excited about this.
Money.
They've weirdly sort of obviously teased her. It's boss turn and all the big business stuff. And then it's like, I don't know, I felt like they were going to tease her a little bit more on last week's Dynamite. But obviously she's showing up tonight, and I think it's going to be a match involving Jay Lethal and his gang of bastards. And Jarrett's going to reach under the ring to pull out his guitar. Wait a second, that's a ukulele. Oh my my God, live concert.
Insufficient funds. Did you see she did an interview the other day, and this is the worst tease of all time. So I can't remember what the platform was, but it was something like, wrestling, what you doing? And she said, I've been doing some big business. It's literally just said the name.
That's like when WWE had that crack the code thing. It was like X plus 1, 2, J. How could it possibly?
My next choice will be Elite.
I
love her.
Get some boffins in on this. No idea. I know this is working.
She is the greatest of all time.
Oh, yeah. And the fact the week before she appeared in AEW, she was like, "Yeah, I'll go back to the Fed eventually." So. What's going on?
She's so chaotic.
Yeah.
She's great, man. She's so good for the business.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what. I'm just excited to see her back in a wrestling ring, to be honest. And yeah, in front of a camera, potentially playing this money character on Western TV. Really excited.
I do hope it goes better than the New Japan debut.
Yes.
That was cursed.
Yes.
But I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. Finally, Richard says, what do you think the odds are? Great question, this, Richard. What do you think the odds are of every belt changing hands at WrestleMania? And do you know if it's ever happened at Mania before?
I don't know that.
I don't know. We'll look into that.
I'll phone Michael Hamflett.
But let's go through that. So you got Roman. That's probably going to happen. Seth, presumably.
Yeah.
Io, probably you're dropping it to Bayley. Rhea and Becky, chances are. Tag titles, 6 teams in that, so maybe. Gunther finally dropping it to free him up for a world title run post WrestleMania, or at least a world title challenge. Logan Paul, I don't know what Logan Paul's doing, but maybe.
He was quite heavily involved in the SummerSlam thing yesterday, so maybe he'll still be in some kind of position of prominence by then. I don't know.
But yeah, I've run through, I've probably missed some out there.
Yeah. It's a good bet, right? I think
there's a really good chance of it.
Yeah, as far as has this ever happened before? I honestly don't know.
No.
But I am literally going to phone Michael Hamflett and find out because he will know.
That's a great thing to do.
Yeah, he's literally sitting.
Will he pick up? That's the question.
Probably not. But I've got 2 phone numbers for him, and I don't know which one's right.
Oh, I think I've got one. Hang on.
I'm not going to try.
I'll try.
I'll accidentally get Steve from Durham or something.
I'll try that one. So. Have you got that one? I'll ring him through WhatsApp because I messaged him. Okay, so here we go.
That's how you'll find.
Here we go. Is he going to pick up to me? That's the question.
Probably not.
Okay.
We could just Google this.
We could just shout him in here.
Yeah. We could. He's literally there.
He's so rude not picking up.
He's so old.
Hamflett! Pick up the phone!
What?
Hello. Just a quick question for the news. You're live. Please don't swear. Has there ever been a WrestleMania where every title has changed hands?
WrestleMania 17 sticks out immediately. There was 5 title changes on that show.
17, 5 title changes.
There you go.
He says.
Fact check it though.
Fact check it.
See you on the podcast. Bye.
Comments are going to tell us if we're wrong or not. But
Yes.
hey, there you go.
Oh,
my phone took a bump.
Let us know what you think about that, and
across the room.
and if you know the answer to that question as well, in the comment section below. And while you're at it, Andy, what can they do?
Put these glasses on.
And
Click this video. These are too small for my face.
Yep.
Jeezy peeps. See you later, man. Bye. See you later.